Hello and welcome learners of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. Today we will consider MBA first year second semester course, Block 5th, Accounting and Auditing. In this session we will focus on the Unit 16, Human Resource Information System. Just imagine the HR department flooded with lots of files and manually tracking attendance, struggling with payroll system. This was the reality before the introduction of HRIS. A human resource information system is a digital solution that automates HR processes and from recruitment to retirement using data-driven technology. What are the organizations doing for HRIS and why do organizations need the HRIS? Well, there are lots of factors and benefits. Let us dive deep into each one of them. First and the foremost thing is efficiency. You can save a lot of time through HRIS. For example, Infosys was able to cut down the processing time from 10 days to just 2 days with Oracle HRIS. Similarly, there are also strategic decision making. Strategic decision making means that you are using the real-time analytics like looking after attrition task and also the skills gap. For example, IBM uses artificial intelligence in HRIS to predict and reduce the turnover by 15%. Of course, one of the other key areas is the compliance and security. Compliance and security takes care of the auto-generated audit-ready report like GDPR, labor laws. ADP actually happens to cut a lot of tax regulation for over 7 lakh of its global companies. If you look at the employee experience actually going to happen through the self-service portals like employees will be given access to their pay slips and apply leave through that. So 80% of the Netflix employees actually manage benefits through HRIS. So let's dive deep into the definition of HRIS. What do you mean by HRIS? Human Resource Information System is actually used to gather and organize and analyze the information related to the organization HR department. Be it recruitment, be it training, be it performance management, everything is done under HRIS. What is the purpose of HRIS? The purpose of HRIS is quite loud and clear. That means it has to improve the efficiency. It should also be able to take care of the HR operations in the data-driven decision making and also ensure that legal compliance is going to happen. Let's now look at the importance of the HRIS. The first and the foremost thing is streamlining HRIS. Through automation, tasks like payroll, leave management, and employee records will be reduce the paperwork. And the other important aspect of HRIS is to improve the decision making. Through real-time data, lots of decisions can be taken as far as human resources are concerned. And then also to enhance the data accuracy, reducing the errors in salary and pay slips management is an important area of concern. Then, for an example, if you have an HRIS enabled organization, generally it happens that it takes a lot of time. But through HRIS, you will be able to reduce a lot of time. Let us look at the evolutionary process of HRIS. Don't you want to know the genesis of HRIS? I'm sure you would like to. So let's look at from the manual HR system. The manual HR system is a mundane and routine task and it used to consume a lot of time and it was also not free from human errors. But today we have this digitalized or computerized HRIS which also uses the digital technology for improving and processing the HR related data in the organization. So web-based and cloud-based HRIS would allow you to have access to 24/7 from multiple location or remote location, enabling the global workforce management. The other example that I can think of today is the cloud HRIS that was used remotely by the employees during the COVID-19 pandemic. Let us dive deep into the objectives of HRIS. HRIS objectives begin with data management, central repository for taking care of storage of the data, retrieval of the data, the job history of the employees, and the performance-related data of the employees. The payroll processing has always been an important area of concern for the HRIS and the organization. So through this, they will be able to take the calculation of the salary and they are able to take care of the tax deductions. Now moving on, we will now take a look at the other things like employee performance management system. So through the employee performance management system, you can have dashboards for the real-time basis. So HRIS allows you to have the dashboards, and that will actually going to help you to reduce the employee turnover, and it gives you a lot of information across the department. Let us look at different components of the HRIS. The first and the foremost component that you can think of is the hardware. You know the meaning of hardware, right? So you need to have the support of the servers, storage devices, biometric machines, attendance system. But whereas the software is an integral part of the HRIS. So what are the softwares that are being used in the HRIS? So the softwares like SAP or SAP is a very popular software. Workday is another interesting software. BRAOU HR, and this will also get customized according to the organizational goals. Then when we think of the employees, we need to take all the stakeholders, like we have HR managers, IT engineers and administrators, and then the end users that you have to keep in mind before you think of HRIS. Then not to forget about the policies, procedures and the practices that are being used. So the policies are supposed to enable the organization to take care of the safety, security and privacy of the operations, and that will govern the institutions. Well, let us dive deep into the types of HRIS. What are the different types of HRIS that exist today? The first and the foremost thing is the operational HRIS, then followed by tactical HRIS, and then the strategic HRIS. So what is tactical or what is operational and what is actually the strategic HRIS? Let's go into the details of it and have a comprehensive understanding of operational HRIS. It starts with the daily HR operations like attendance tracking system, leaves management and payroll processing. The other one is also the payroll processing. For example, ADP uses its simple but yet complex payroll management for multi-purpose organization or for different MNCs. Let us now look at and pay attention to tactical HRIS. The word tactical is always used in the recruitment planning. You would need the data to forecast different kinds of hiring needs based on the organizational growth. Similarly, you also need to have data regarding the training management. So training actually tracks the employee certification, the skills gap, and what are the mandatory requirements for the employees to go through the training. The other important area of tactical HRIS includes the compensation analysis. Would you able to take care of the benchmarking or the standard salary with industry standards to maintain competitiveness? For example, HRIS can actually generate reports highlighting the wage disparities across different or similar roles. Let's look at this strategic HRIS. As the word strategic HRIS means that you need to have strategic workforce planning. It starts with forecasting and predicting the future hiring needs based on the company's strategy. The other one is succession planning. Succession planning starts with identifying potential employees for the leadership role in the future. So performance forecasting is another area of strategic HRIS, which uses historical data to anticipate future workforce productivity. There are also predictive analytics being used in HRIS to streamline and suggest the top level management and when they leave the organization and how are you going to quickly recruit them. Let us look at some of the core modules of HRIS. The first one being Employee Information System. This is a system where it stores a lot of data pertaining to the employees and employee profiles, including their personal details, job history, and compensation related information. Recruitment and selection is another area which manages job posting, applicant tracking system, and also the interview scheduling. Training and development is another key area for this purpose, which organizes the year-long calendar of the training and also monitors the skill acquisition by the employees. Payroll and compensation is another core module of HRIS where the manager actually manages a lot of bonuses, calculations of the tax and salary adjustment, all those things. Let us look at the performance management system. Tracking the key performance indicator is an important part of HRIS, and it also involves compliance management. Compliance is another area where HRIS does its functions so very vividly. Example, that it manages the legal compliances, what are the contracts that have been expired in the recent times, and what are the statutory reporting system that you need to take care of it. We can explore each one of them in detail now. Let us look at Recruitment and Selection module. Recruitment and Selection module starts with the job posting. As soon as there is a requirement in the organization, the job is being posted on the website or other social media platforms like LinkedIn and Glassdoor. And after that, the role of ATS, that is Application Tracking System, would come into being. And this is where you can absolutely going to take care of the application statuses and also take care of the scores related to the candidates, and through which you can analyze the application data. The other one is the interview scheduling. Interview scheduling for so far has always been a concern for the organization, but through HRIS, this can be done so easily, giving the users or the applicants their entire status when the interviews are scheduled and also giving information to the interviewers. So streamlining the data is an important aspect of HRIS. Let us now look into how a software like Workday able to recruit and help repeat. Now let us look at through this example. Workday software allows the recruitment module through the AI-enabled resume tracking system. Let us now look at the training and development module. Training and development is a bigger module, and through HRIS, you can analyze, identify the needs of the employees, be it the personal information or be it the task related information or be it the organization related information. Scheduling the programs of training and development and also sending automatic invites to the learners and as well as tracking their attendance or as a continuous evaluation system. What the learners actually carry during the training process can be captured through HRIS. So now let us look at through the example like SAP Litmus reduced the training time by 30% using automated scheduling system. Payroll and compensation module. Payroll and compensation module actually helps you to automate the entire pay administration from gross to net salary. What are the different kinds of incentives, perks, and benefits and allowances and services that you offer to your employees. And salary slips can easily be generated with just one click. and so as with other tax deductions like TDS and also PF and ESIC, all these things can easily be managed. So Zoho is another people's platform which actually helps you to take care of the payroll module and simplifies the compliances for a majority of the small businesses. Performance management system, that is setting the key performance indicators that links employee goals with the department objectives. It always trickles down from the top management to the department level, management processing. So that's why it's important to look at the appraisal system. A 360-degree appraisal system is of a pivotal use in the HRIS system. As we all know, you will collect the data from various stakeholders like vendors, like managers, supervisors, subordinates, and also the self. The other important area is to have the continuous feedback from all these stakeholders. Compliance management module is an interesting area for the HRIS to explore, because you may have the state government or you may also have the central government statutory compliances like tracking the labor laws, minimum wages, PF contribution, gratuity. All these are parts of the compliance management tracking system. So document management is also a concern to many of the organizations, like storing the data, taking care of the certificates, and also trying to look at the audit trails. An automated alert would also be sent for filing the statutory compliances and also help them to prevent penalties from the agencies. So far we have looked into the different types of HRIS. Today we will now look into the benefits of HRIS as well. So what are the core benefits that are there and used by the organization? One of the most important things that come to your mind when you think of HRIS is the efficiency and the time. It also reduces a lot of processing time and it also reduces a lot of HR time. To an estimate, it reduces more than 50% of the HR time. The same 50% can be used for planning the workforce. And the other one is also the data accuracy. So digitally captured data is important, and that is why it improves the efficiency of the payroll and the attendance as well. So henceforth improving the reliability and validity of the data. So better employee experience and engagement, you will be in a better position to manage your workforce, and you can also be able to take care of your employees, and they will be in a position to manage the pay slips and apply for leave and other HR related activities. So a lot of companies have been able to reduce 40% of their time through HRIS and post implementation. So everything is not really rosy as far as HRIS is concerned. It comes with a lot of challenges. Let us look at few of these challenges. First and the foremost thing is the costs. The initial cost will be really high. Are the companies willing to invest so much in the HRIS? So that's the challenge. Like software licensing would cost really a big amount, and then customization, and you also need to provide initial training to your staff members. The other one is by the employees. Especially there is this concept of resistance to change. Employees may not be willing to go for HRIS. So you have to have a lot of overcoming strategies to get them to this change. So resistance to change is a big deal and challenge for HRIS. Now let us look at the data security concern. Most of the HRIS is provided by the outside agencies. So there will be concern for the data privacy, data security, and cyber security issues. So failure to secure HRIS data will lead to significant fines in many of the firms that we come across. Let us now slowly look into the sequential step-by-step implementing of HRIS. First and the foremost thing, you have to understand the needs assessment. Do your organization really require a change from manual to digital or HRIS system? For that, I think you have to identify the existing gaps in the HR processes. Then you can select the vendors through systemic selection process. Like, it should be based on their previous experience, historical records, or maybe on the basis of the cost and then social ability. Then training and development. You can prepare a detailed plan for training sessions for HR and non-HR employees because they are the ones who are going to use the HRIS system. Example, if you conduct a pilot test to gather the feedback before implementation, that is all going to help you in the long run. There are also other issues like those who have already been using the data manually, can we also change them into digital? That means it's a kind of migration of the data, like cleaning the formatting and transferring the data from one legal system to the other legal system. And they should be able to have this migration with ease. System testing is another area that is also a concern in the system implementation of the HRIS. So this step actually tries to conduct parallel runs to ensure data integrity and accuracy. Go live and evaluation are important before you launch the system. Let us look at a few of the other concerns of the HRIS as far as data privacy and security is concerned. Through encryption, you can have the user end-to-end encryption to protect the sensitivity of the employee information and data. Who is going to have the access is another area of data security. So role-based access to restrict the data from authorized or unauthorized personnel. So regular audits and regular checks or periodic checks at the regular interval will be in a position to detect the vulnerabilities that will come up through unauthorized access. For example, multi-factor authentication reduces the unauthorized login over by 90%. Now the question comes as far as the cloud-based HRIS system is concerned. So what role does HRIS and the cloud will play in day-to-day life? Especially for the organization, it's the scalability. When I say scalability, I'm referring to easily adding more and more new users, adding more and more modules, and also the storage into the organization systems. Remote access is one of the key features of any good HRIS. So it should be able to support the hybrid work models. People who are working from remotely, they should be given access with ease. The other one is the cost efficiency. As far as possible, trying to reduce the cost through the subscription-based pricing and also reduces the investment as such. So cloud HRIS like Workday is a bright example which actually helps you to organize and manage remote teams building through the different concerns and areas. Especially that has happened during the global lockdowns. Now let us look at some of the popular HR software. Do you know some of the popular softwares? Well, even if you don't know, let me tell you about it. The first one is SAP. SAP SuccessFactors is a very popular software for large enterprises. Majority of the big organizations actually use SAP and through their advanced analytics and global compliance. The other one is Workday. Workday, known for its intuitive user interface and robust mobile application. And then you have BRAOU HR, another interesting software which is preferred by the small and mid-size organizations for its simplicity and affordability. Zoho People. Zoho, as you know, offers seamless integration to other Zoho apps and suitable for growing businesses. That's why it's quite popular. Let us look at HRIS and its relationship with decision making. To have decision making, you should be able to have the access of the real-time data analytics. You can create instant dashboards that are useful and would help you to take care of your workforce metrics and analytics. And then predictive analytics is one area where decision making is largely going to help you through forecasting of the attrition. How many people are willing to leave the organization or have intention to quit the jobs? That data will help you to manage and plan for the future recruitment. And then data-driven strategies like informed decisions on promotions, transferred, budget allocations are all important. So predictive models actually going to help you to reduce the HRIS turnover. Now let us look at talent management and HRIS. So what is HRIS doing in talent management? As we know, talent management is to identify the skills gap. And I think using the right kind of assessment of the area of talent management is going to be useful. Repeat. HRIS in talent management. Identifying skill gaps is repeat. Identifying skill gaps is an important area for the most important. Repeat. HRIS in talent management. Identifying skill gaps through the digital information will actually going to pave way for identifying the right kind of candidates for the organization. And it also helps you to take care of the succession planning. That means looking for potential employee in the leadership role for the future. Employee engagement is a wonderful area where organization is trying to look and involve the employees from across disciplines so that it would be able to take care of their satisfaction level and also to monitor the exit interviews as well as the grievance redressal mechanisms as well. I can recall IBM was able to do talent management system using the AI and predict employee career path. Let us quickly look at the future trends in HRIS. So what are the future trends? First and the foremost thing, we live in this age and era of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence power chatbots are basically going to use for HR chatbots and also for smart recruiting tools. Machine learning is another area for the future of HRIS because it allows you to predict the attrition, would also be able to customize the learning experiences of employees and their engagement and experiences. The other one is like the handy use of mobile HR applications. So it allows the employees to enable the access of the entire, repeat. Mobile HR application is going to allow you to get the access for leaves, pay slips and training modules. So these are very handy. So let us sum it up what we have done so far. So first and the foremost thing, HRIS will be able to streamline the HR processes and enhance the decision-making processes. It supports not just operational, tactical, but also the strategic HR needs. The key implementation steps include planning, training, and data migration. So data security is critical to HRIS, and the future of HRIS lies in the hands of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and mobile accessibility. With that, we come to the end of this lesson. Please feel free to ask any questions or clarifications you have on this topic. We look forward to your company again. Until then, it's goodbye from all of us.